Declan Rice is set to return to his former team as Arsenal plays against West Ham in the Carabao Cup 4th round tomorrow. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having a fantastic evening and everything is obviously going on as planned. Smash the like button, comment and share if at all you're watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we're here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as the match of Arsenal versus West Ham is really concerned, as Arteta goes ahead and obviously extend his threat to his opponents after beating 5 goals, all putting 5 goals past Sheffield at the Emirates over the weekend. And for West Ham, they lost to Everton by 1-0. Calvert-Lewin was the man responsible for obviously scoring that beauty that saw him obviously gang up and obviously take the team to where it deserves to be. Now, as it stands, we are here to obviously discuss lots of things as who is available and who is not available. We start up with Arsenal. Julian Timber, Thomas Partey, Gabriel Jesus. Those are really doubts. They're out of this game. But Jesus can shock us with a return. But the rest of the players of Arsenal are really available. The other, when we go to West Ham, no player is really injured. All the players are really available. Edson Alvarez and Lucas Paqueta, who wouldn't feature into this fixture because of accumulating 5 yellow cards in the Premier League, have been allowed to play this game, and over the weekend, that's when they're not obviously going to feature for their team into that tie. So Arsenal is obviously having a squad that can obviously compete and really terrorize the side of West Ham. Now, the big question is Mikel Arteta going to give West Ham is Mikel Arteta going to give the former captain of West Ham, Declan Rice, a chance to start at the London Stadium? All that and more into the next video that is coming in through, or the next seconds, where we're obviously going to analyze this story. It's close to 200 likes much in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We thank God for the gift of life, and for the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and let's set the ball rolling. Now, the last time Arsenal played at the London Stadium, it ended 2-2. Arsenal scored 2 goals in the first half. It was Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Then a penalty through Lucas Paqueta. Was it through Lucas Paqueta? And after that penalty, it resulted into what is it called? After that penalty, we saw to it that Gerard Bowen, I think, went ahead to score the equalizer, and the game ended 2-2. One of the games that really saw Arsenal get off the trophy of the Premier League. Now, Arsenal want to be in all competitions. The reason as why they want to be in all competitions is simple. This is the competition where Arteta can obviously rest some of his players, and obviously to it that he really flaunts a different squad altogether. And in the game they played against Crystal Palace, he really went ahead to rest many players, and amongst those was Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Declan Rice, William Saliba, Zinchenko, Gabriel Martinelli. I think even did Trossard play. He rested very many players, and I think this time round is going to rest players because this team that I believe is going to bring can obviously cause havoc to the side of West Ham. And let's wait and let's see how Arsenal is going to line up as they take on the side of West Ham. The system is obviously a 4-3-3 system. That is it. And we anticipate that it's going to be Rowe Ramsdale in goal. David Raya has been really identified as the first choice goalkeeper for the side of Arsenal. And this is the tournament where we expect the likes of Rowe Ramsdale to come in through and feature prominently, and is going to start. He kept a clean sheet when Arsenal was playing against Brentford. He put up close to 4 good saves that were really clear-cut chances. And if at all those chances went in, no one will going to blame him. But he really put up a show at the Community Stadium down in Brentford, and we anticipate him to start. On the right back, I see Tomiyasu coming in through to be played as the right back for the side of Arsenal. He scored his first goal of Arsenal over the weekend, and he came off the bench, meaning that Arteta has a plan to obviously bring him and obviously take on the side of West Ham. Then the left back, we anticipate Jakub Kiwior to be played as the left back for Arsenal. And this is the reason as to why I gave him a full game when they are playing Sheffield, to really get some sharpness as they prepare to go play against Fulham, because this is the kind of game where I really anticipate that you need a play of Jakub Kiwior to have gotten in some match fitness, and obviously he got it right. Was he tested enough? That's a question for another day, but I can confirm to you that he really got the best he deserves as a player. Then we go to the right-sided centre-back. I think it's going to be Benjamin White to be played as the right-sided centre-back at the side of Arsenal, because Saliba needs to rest. Saliba needs to rest, and Arsenal have a game of Sevilla. They have a game of Newcastle, so Arteta needs to keep him fresh. And if I told you were to ask Mikel Arteta which tournament do you really believe you want to win most, I think what's the Premier League and the Champions League. FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, they don't matter. All what matters, if I told you leave the Champions League or a Premier League. Now, on the left-sided centre-back, he's a man who never played a single minute in the game of Sheffield. That is Gabriel Magalhaes returns to play into that central defense. That back four is really solid and can obviously see itself really defend well against the side of West Ham. And Gabriel Magalhaes comes in through to obviously track what we call Mikel Antonio, because of his physical abilities that might be a problem to Ben White. Then we go to the midfield. CDM. I think Jorginho comes in through to start in the CDM area as you see him into that midfield. And then on the other side, it's going to be Kai Havertz playing alongside him, and the man that many love, that is Emile Smith-Rowe, who went ahead to feature prominently in that fixture of Arsenal, where they went ahead to beat Sheffield by 5-0. This is going to be the second time in a row to it that Emile Smith-Rowe starts Arsenal game. It started over the weekend, and if at all Arteta really starts him in this fixture, it will be the second time in a row. See to it that he features prominently into the team of Arsenal. Then the right forward, I think Saka is going to be rested, and Fabio Vieira is coming in through to obviously start into that position as a right forward. Left forward, none other than Leandro Trossard, meaning that Martinelli is obviously going to be rested. And who is leading the line? It's going to be Eddie Nketiah, because he is the man on form, having scored a hat-trick against Sheffield. You need to see him come in this game, and if at all Arsenal creates some good chances, he can obviously score those goals and obviously extend his form. Remember the last game they played in the Carabao Cup, he was responsible for the assist that saw Reece Nelson score the only goal that saw Arsenal really win that beautiful fixture. Now, when you look at that starting 11, or probable starting 11, it has very many changes. Aaron Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Magalhaes, Kai Havertz, Jorginho, Trossard, and Fabio Vieira. 7 changes are to be made. Now, if it were last season, Arsenal making 7 changes wouldn't look the same. Arsenal wouldn't look the same if at all it made 7 changes last season. But it shows you how far Arsenal's gonna hate to obviously transform into a team that it is right now. Because when you look at those players, Arsenal are going to rest Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, William Saliba, who else? So resting those players is really huge, because it helps you really rest the players and prepare them for the next big games. Arsenal is playing Newcastle on the weekend, and they are playing Sevilla in the midweek. The game of Sevilla is really pivotal, because I think when Arsenal wins that game, it's going to be one of those pointers that They only need one more point to obviously qualify for the round of 16. And Mikel Arteta wants to kill off these games early enough such that he can see his other players playing the Champions League, like Rowe Ramsdale. Because if they beat Sevilla, they'll be having 9 points. And all they'll be needing will be simple. Hosting another side of RC Lens. You beat RC Lens, go to 12 points, qualification sealed, you go to PSV, then you can bring in your second string side to obviously do the job. That is it. So, when you look at that starting 11 of Arsenal, probable, we can talk about the battles, you know. Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes are going to face the man himself. That is Antonio. Very huge battle, but I think Antonio is not all that a skilled player. He always uses his pace and his physicality. And I think Gabriel Magalhaes can really come in through and really play a huge job into that. Then Jakub Kiwior is going to be facing Mohamed Kudus, a player that Arsenal really wanted. Sorry, Gerard Bowen, right? A player that is really in good form. But I think they can obviously do the needful. Then Tomiyasu, I think, is going to face Mohamed Kudus off the left. The midfield, obviously, Ward-Prowse. Arsenal should really keep a very keen eye onto him, not to go in for those fouls near the 18-yard box area because he's a free kick specialist. Ward-Prowse, Lucas Paqueta, and Edson Alvarez. Those are the ones who are going to face Emile Smith-Rowe, Jorginho, and Kai Havertz. And I think they can obviously win that midfield battle. That is it. I'm talking about the Arsenal mid three that are going to line up into the second third of the pitch. Then Emerson Palmieri is going to face Fabio Vieira. Trossard, is it Kahela, right? Then Kat Zuma and is it Ogbonna are going to face Edin Ketia, the man in form. So we wait and see how that pans out. But West Ham are also having a very good squad, and they lost at their stadium over the weekend. And David Moyes wouldn't like to see to it that they really lose a second consecutive game. That is it. All they want to do is to really see themselves proceed or continue into where they're supposed to be in this tournament. Having lifted a trophy of the UEFA Conference League last season, he is really trophy hungry. And the hardest team to face right now is Arsenal. Why? They're having a very huge bench. Their bench is going to be having Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Zinchenko, William Saliba, David Raya, Reece Nelson. So when you're having that caliber of players on the bench, it's hard for you to think that West Ham can obviously come and clinch a win from Arsenal. Though everything in football is really possible, but if you had to look at the odds, obviously the odds show something different. That Arsenal is really being given a small odd, and West Ham is being given a huge odd. They can shock Arsenal, but I think Arsenal is winning this one by like 2-1. It's not going to be a very wide margin win by Arsenal. It's going to be a little bit closely. That is it. So that is it coming in from Arsenal, and my prediction is 2-1 in favor of Arsenal, and I'm giving Arsenal this win because of the bench they're obviously going to have. Declan Rice can come off the bench and really change the scenario and change everything at the side of Arsenal. So I'm giving Arsenal a win to obviously lift this. But Emile Smith-Rowe and Fabio Vieira, I see them starting this beautiful game of football. And Fabio Vieira was really in recent form, but in the recent past, the manager's not going to have to give him some good games. But I think this is a game of him to start. Having really scored a goal over the weekend, I think this is the best game for obviously give him. So guys, your thoughts onto this are welcome in the comment section below. What's your prediction? Who do you start? And who do you really get out of my probable starting 11? Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I'm out. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. Bye-bye.